Terror from the Cape tries to go all the way. On the outside now, here comes Flotilla in the light blue. Flotilla is absolutely flying. Watch the chances in there too. But Flotilla has gone right on by. And Flotilla is coming home to score. Flotilla has won it just about 2 in the end. It'll be watch the chances. Summer of Fun coming on to finish third.
Live from the backstretch at Saratoga, this is the Handicappers Report. The Handicappers Report is brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. The new Capital OTB wagering platform. Bet any place, anytime with the new Capital OTB wagering platform. And CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier wagering site in New York State.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Handicappers Report, the 8th Thursday. I'm not so sure I ever believed I would say something like that. We're going back years ago, but 40-day meet, 5 days a week, running on Labor Day. Remember, this is our 6th day a week of racing. Very rare nowadays. And boy, I'll tell you, not only is Mother Nature undefeated, she is brilliant because she knows it's post-Travers. Bring my friend and colleague Brian Adams. I don't know that it could be any better.
Yeah, this is like closing week. Mike Callahan and I were talking about it yesterday.
Sensational.
Yeah,
no humidity,
no
air.
Starting to get dark at night already.
Yeah,
it was 54 when we woke up. It's like it's over. Closing week. Now, you know this as well as anybody. We always used to say closing week was for the locals. But then probably, what's it been now? Almost a decade probably where they really beefed up closing week. Brought the Woodward up here. Now they got the Gold Cup.
Well,
longer than that probably, right? Yeah, 15 years. My goodness. So they really did. They made a concerted effort.
Basically after St. Liam.
St. Liam, okay.
So
St. Liam and Ghost Zapper, okay, yeah.
That was 04. 04 one.
Yeah.
And then.
Yeah, I want to say like Lido Palace or something like that might have won the Woodward up here one year or was up here. So they made a concerted effort to really beef up closing weekend, and I feel like it's really worked, in spades. But it always used to, the townspeople kind of got the town back a little bit closing weekend. I don't necessarily know if it's the case anymore, but it will definitely be a little tempered.
Well, you would think, obviously last year is a line through, this year is a squiggle line through. We'll see what it gets to be like. But I'll tell you how long I've been coming up here and enjoying it, Brian. Closing day used to be a Saturday, and it used to be the Hopeful.
Yeah, that
General
was before
Assembly.
my time.
Oh, 20 years before.
1978
was the last time we, really before Sunday racing became a thing at NYRA, a full-time thing, in 79. And they'd run the Spinaway on Friday, the Hopeful on Saturday, and then be back at Belmont Park Monday. Then in 79, they started with the Monday closings.
Okay.
They ran on Sundays. Tuesday being a dark day. I always say the one thing, you were telling me about an intriguing trivia contest. You were out really some crazy questions, which is a compliment, by the way. But the one I always liked was, what day of the week did Affirmed win his Jim Dandy prepping for the Travers? Well, it was a Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So many things change, and they should change over 40, 45 years. But this is the last week. It's beautiful weather.
Speaking of change, as I'm sure you saw, the Gold Cup and the Flower Bowl is up here. They drew those races for Saturday. That's really that's pretty crazy.
This is one thing that I wish I was incorrect about and not correct about, and that is, I think we've crossed the Rubicon as it is, and I think in a way it's good for us selfishly here.
Well, that's true.
I don't know that
that's true.
It makes it tough for the sport because it kind of makes a chasm my point, what I'm getting to is, horses have prepped for the Breeders' Cup already, folks. I fervently believe that. I mean, we saw a great Saturday, especially if you're a pick 5 player on an $8 ticket. And but I don't know how many of them are running again.
No, look, Truska might run 3 more times.
Yeah, she might get a.
She's awesome.
She's waiting for the Masquette, the Ruffian, and the Beldame to come back so she can get it going again. But, and I heard some early comments, and just, you're in this game long, but I can see Essential Quality going straight to the thing.
I don't think there's.
He's won the 3-year-old championship.
5% chance he runs before the Breeders' Cup.
He's going right in. Gamine, what's she going to just go to the Breeders' Cup?
Yeah, I mean, they met. There's a race. There must be either it's got to be a renamed race because it's graded. They have a race at Santa Anita called the Chillingworth. It's a grade 3. It must have been renamed. First Breeders' Cup newsletter is coming out this week, so I got to be in the loop on all that stuff. And that was mentioned possibly, but also that he'll very likely train Gamine up for title defense.
Jackie's Warrior go from there to the sprint?
Jackie's Warrior Vosburg. It's a win and you're in.
Okay.
It's a win and you're in. So Jackie's Warrior Vosburg is apparently on the radar. Life is Good. They mentioned races like the PA Derby, maybe the one-turn Kelso to be determined with him. Go Fu is going to come back in the Hirsch. Okay, that's good. Who else won? Latruska Spinster makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Juddmonte Spinster at Keeneland would be her 4th straight Breeders' Cup win and you're in win.
She doesn't want to race against anybody.
Amazing.
She's going to gobble them all in.
I'm going here. You run.
She's got to have the most. I mean, who's ever had more than 2?
It's a great call. It's a great point. I should know that. I don't, but I don't remember anybody more than 2. Mike Callahan and I, we were up here yesterday. Actually, Dave Grenning, on Racing Across America, and we showed the stretch run of the Personal Ensign, and in mid-stretch, I was like, off the far turn. I mean, what was she going to be, 5th? Fifth?
Gobbled up.
Swallowed.
Apparently not.
Good night.
And then
she's so cool.
She is.
She's so
cool.
And
here's the other thing, and I thought this Saturday morning, I mean, and I'm a guy who really thinks that the full year, I love the Breeders' Cup. I mean, to me, it's the greatest thing in the sport. But that's mostly for betting and the pure excitement. But I've not liked the idea how I think a lot of voters are lazy because they watch racing 4 days a year and vote horses on that day. To me, there's already been like 4 championships settled. I don't really care what happens.
Right.
And I would go so far as to say that Gamine is the Filly and Mare Sprint champion. That's just it, because no one's going to build a resume in time.
Yeah, she's got 2 or 3 grade 1 wins now. She won the Derby City and obviously the Ballerina. She's 4 for 4 this year.
Yeah, but everybody else is starting at like 0.
Yeah, they haven't done anything.
So you get 1, you don't beat her. Essential Quality is going to get every vote, and rightfully so. And I have to say, Malathat has won the 3-year-old Filly Championship.
Yeah, especially because she's probably going to be seen next in the distaff. So yeah.
I mean, she's about 2.5 feet away from being undefeated, and she turned the tables on that runner. Yeah. And I don't think if Maracuja were to beat her in the Breeders' Cup, it would be enough.
No.
So that championship is done, and and Latruska to me has won the championship. It's not even close. So those 4 right off the top, and out of fairness, the juveniles can't be decided, so that's fine. So basically, of the ones that can be, the ones that to me are left open, the male sprinter,
yeah,
and the older colt, because I don't think Nick's Go has wrapped it up yet.
No,
so I think
not.
That's pretty good by Labor Day.
Oh, I think Yapan out of the Crazy 4 Go, that was something. I think he's training up to the.
I would think so. I mean, he has a light schedule.
Firenze Fire will go to the Vosburg. Loves Belmont Park, as you know.
I was thinking about this. He is one of the most successful Sanford Stakes winners in like the last 40 years.
He will run in the
He's put in
Breeders'
a
Cup.
tremendous.
He's a poor man's Whitmore, and I don't want to say poor man's because that's not really fair because he's earned a $2 million and he's a multiple graded stakes winner. But Whitmore retired, by the way. I don't know if you saw that, unfortunately, but he's okay. That's good. So Whitmore ran in the sprint 4 times, culminating with his win last year. 4.5 in the bank, I believe, for Whitmore, and Firenze Fire about half of that, and he's run. Now, he hasn't run in the sprint because he did run in the dirt mile, I believe. A 2-turn dirt mile he ran in.
Okay.
Okay. It might have been, maybe it was the 1 turn at Churchill. I'm not positive on that. But anyway, he's run in the Breeders' Cup 3 years in a row. He'll aim for the 4th this year. Kelly Breener, he said, absolutely, that's our race, the sprint, because obviously it's a 2-turn mile at Del Mar. That's not his jam. Kelly Breen's done a hell of a job with that horse, too, because obviously, as we know, he was a John Service horse, and let's not go down that. But Kelly has taken over that horse and has done a phenomenal job with Firenze Fire, and he dances every dance. It's unfortunate that craziness on Saturday kind of brought him to the fore. It's like, hey, I've been at this game for like 3 or 4 years now, and I'm really, really good.
That's the nature of it. It's all over the country. I said to Seth the next day when we did the show on Sunday that I don't know which photographer is going to win it. I think Barbara Livingston is going to win it, but that is going to be the subject matter of the Eclipse Award.
Yeah, good point.
Photography, and hers I thought was of the ones I saw. The most electrifying of them. So there it is. Thank you very much.
Rise all over.
All 8 hoofs in the air. The color is obviously beautiful. You can, who is it? Jose Ortiz on trying to. You can see. I mean, I guess I'm making a little leap of faith here, where he's trying to minimize this and how substantial it is. And look at Firenze Fire knows where the camera is.
You want to hear something crazy? Dave Brenning sat in that chair yesterday with me, and I said, obviously they would have had to disqualify him, correct, if he won the race. And he said, actually, it would have been at the steward's discretion. And of course, me being, the obvious knee-jerk reaction was, well, the stewards haven't made an error all meet, so, I trust them.
I trust that.
But he did say that, and I was blown away. He said, well, they could have deemed if it did not cost Firenze Fire the win, they could have left, Japan, they could have left Firenze Fire up, which, blow me over.
That'd be an awful lot of discretion.
Now, here's the other one, too. I think we have to give Mike Welsh credit. And I got to give Dave Harmon, too. Dave Harmon had some great photos in the Saratoga special yesterday. We love Dave. Westside Stadium and all that good stuff. So I was at Gulfstream this past weekend. And I saw you at the tube. And I was in the press box and with Ed Gray, longtime turf writer, and apparently Mike Welsh, Dave Grenning's colleague, said, this happened to Firenze Fire the other way. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it happened to him at Monmouth Park. I think Brad brought that picture up yesterday. Because I said, and you've been doing this a heck of a lot longer than I have. There we go. Great stuff. There's Firenze Fire on the inside. How about that? Good job, Brad. I had never seen this in a race. Maybe once, like a nip. You remember the obvious famous photo. I don't know what it is.
It's in my basement.
Okay.
The Roper's tip, right? I saw the it's
famous
in my
photo.
basement.
I just don't remember anything like
this.
what's
funny is, because it rarely happens, but it just dawned on me. There's that one. It's always the outside horse.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
When I say always, I mean 3 for 3. Over 100 years. It's the outside horse.
So what is that? You said you've had, what is that? I mean, we're talking 1960? 70?
No, I think it's really that. I think Broker's Tip or something. I mean, it's just because in that time it was such a singular photograph. Someone thought I would like to have something like that, which was nice of them. But we have a very large basement with a lot of walls, and I told my wife, as much as I love horse racing, I don't want it in our house.
Right.
So it's the basement. You walk in, and you immediately start seeing things, and that's one of them on a far wall. I can see it while I'm working at my computer. But I had said that on Sunday morning when I had seen it in the charts. I never noticed it. I would usually have to go back and watch the race and still walk away, honestly, being like, okay, I guess. I'm like, but nip is the right thing. And that's what I saw. A couple nips one time. But as I was watching it unfold live, and I'm sure somebody put a stopwatch to it. It seemed like eternity that he was at him, and I was like, I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
And as you know, as our very knowledgeable audience knows, by the way, they're running about 35 miles an hour in a Grade 1 stakes race on Travers Day at Saratoga. Not 16K claimers that are noticeably slowing at the back of the pack or anything.
And Seth made a good point. I did not feel this way. So I'll ask you, Cole. Do you think Forensic Fire was winning that race?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I do.
You two outvote me, so okay. So it cost them a Grade 1, which was enough. And I guess both horses and both jockeys came out. I tell you one thing: the most afraid person had to be Ricardo Santana. I would be really.
And if you saw the head-on after the wire and they let it run out, they kind of looked at each other like, "What the heck
did we just
was
experience?"
that? Yeah, it was pretty good.
I mean, these guys have ridden so many horses, even though they're both young. But you're like, it's such a singular event and probably extremely dangerous. I mean, I can't imagine where that was gonna evolve into. Ricardo's on the rail, and
it's a phenomenal piece of horsemanship, right? It really is.
It's tremendous.
It really is.
You saw that Jackie's Warrior was the only non-favorite in the pick 6, paid $5 and change. You must like the late pick 5 or the pick 6.
Hit them all. Lost the sizable. Hit the pick 5 for $5.50. Hit the pick 4 for $8, and hit the. Pick
I know
6,
I had a question for you.
And you would have had to buy me a beer at the bar.
If it was a $2 pick 6, you think they hit it yesterday? I know we had the 4 favorites going in. Bruce Levine. It's all.
Yeah.
Okay. I
because
thought
it was
so
just
too. I said it was easy leading up, and then you just buy.
I mean, if there was a pick 4 around those first 4 races, like it would have been
$16.
Like, I would say $19.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. So they're going to hit it. They go deep enough, etc.
Yeah. By the way. Took us 18 minutes and 37 seconds.
We're
off the turf today.
That's a bad job on our part.
We don't have a track condition.
Of course, it's almost 4 hours to post time, so it's god awful.
I would think it's going to be a fast track.
I tell you one thing. I
didn't look at it because I come in over here. So.
I've seen them working on it with the John Deeres, and it's going to be one of those odd days, I think, for the casual fan, where it's going to be beautiful out looking. The dirt track is going to be gorgeous, and they're going to be like, well, what's the problem? But we're off the turf. It looks, the racetrack, they've been harrowing it, so I think that's a good sign.
So Dave Grenning just reports off the turf. This was 7:44 in the a.m., and then somebody that apparently is living on the moon said, did it really rain that much in Saratoga overnight?
I'll tell you one thing, they don't live in the Capital District either then. I mean, even though we up here learned that Albany and Saratoga doesn't have to be the same, but that's good.
I went to bed about 1 o'clock in half moon at my parents' house last night, and from, I would say,
6 o'clock
5:30 to when I went to bed, it was raining sideways. I mean, it was pouring rain.
Absolutely.
So, there's a chance. There was a better chance we might be off tomorrow before we were on today. Let's put it that way.
I agree. And since it's easy when they're not here to say kudos to Seth Mara, who on Sunday knocked it out of the park on multiple fronts, wrapped up the battle with the TU, put us in earshot of beating the meat, but rumor has it did something that, folks, if you haven't done it, it's a lot harder than it sounds. Hit the show pool.
Yeah, so Seth apparently had a $100 show parlay. Mike was explaining this yesterday. I obviously didn't see it. Long story short, he had a $100 show parlay that I believe to the patrons, 10 people got $2,900 back. But all 3 horses won. And obviously, a show parlay, you just need to run 1, 2, 3.
Jerry Mann, his best bet in the TU, $22. And I'm going to tell you something.
I'm not finding that horse with tomorrow's newspaper.
I'm going to tell you something. I'll confirm it with him tomorrow. That is not the biggest price of a best bet Seth has had in the TU.
This meet?
No. We've been doing it about 3-4 years. I think Seth had like a $38 best bet winner one time. So on Sunday, he wrapped it up for Capital OTB with 3 horses in the 20-plus range. And one horse was 18 and change, but the other 2 were bigger than 20.
And if you took the $100 and made a win parlay, and obviously it's not going to happen that way because your win bets are going to
Eventually
lower
hurt
the
the
odds.
odds.
But if you just took it at face value, that $100 Mike Callahan said yesterday would have been somewhere like $120,000.
Killed it.
That's why he was voted, well, apparently shorted, but he was voted in the top 10 of TV personalities. Number 7, we love him.
Yeah.
He's sleeping right now, but we golf clapped to Seth Merrow if he was watching. He might be up. Seth's going to do an interview right here on the set.
Yeah, but he'll be here at 10:57.
It's going to air later with Steve Asmussen. Just a little bookkeeping. Obviously, Anthony Stace are racing across America. We're going to condense that a little bit because Dan Collins of Bonaventure Stable is going to pop on for the last 10 minutes. We think they've got a couple in today. I'm sure they're going to run their 2-year-old maiden. They've got Gladys running the opener, who I liked in the opener. It's off the turf now. We'll see what happens there. But Dan and Bonaventure Stable, great supporter of OTB the last few years and a great partnership if you're looking to get involved. So Dan will stop by at 10:50 to lay that all out. And They've got a streak up here. I believe it's 9 or 10 years in a row where Bonaventure Stables has won a race. So it's getting late. They have a chance to get it done today. So we probably should get going here, huh?
All right. In the opener will now be 1 mile and an 1/8 on the dirt. Fillies and Mares in for 25.
Again, as my partner always says astutely, we're no longer handicapping the race. We're handicapping who's going to run. And listen, back to Racing Across America at 10 a.m., we'd like to think that during that show we're going to get some scratches so we can double back and look at these off the turf races. 5-4-1 for me. These are turf picks, so we're going to go 1-4-7. 1-4-7 main track here, okay, on the dirt.
Going against both MTOs.
Well, look at B-Bit. You know she's staying in, right? Look at her Oaklawn races.
Yeah, you would. It's tough, but you're like, because they're, it's not our job, and for whatever reason.
No, I guarantee she's staying. If she can walk, she's staying in.
It doesn't get a
and
cough.
she's perfectly drawn. She's tactical. Joel Rosario will ride because he's not named anywhere else. So Cowworth Park's got a dirt pedigree, if nothing else, by Leah out of a pulpit mare. And then Yes, I'm Evil
by the way,
claim for Peter Walder. 1-4-7, okay, on the main track.
It's Lee.
Lee, yeah, I was
I was saying
it's
that,
an actual,
because it's actually, if you do crossword puzzles, you came across it often. It means meadow. It's a regular English word. It's
I
not
did
like
some
a
crossword
person.
puzzles this morning.
Did you?
Mom cuts them out of the Schenectady Gazette for me every day.
Are you a crossword? Me too.
Yeah.
And that's when he came to prominence down at Gulfstream Park. Didn't he set a track record?
Yeah, the Don, I believe, and then he also turfed a little bit too.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know if he won the Addo Mile.
Did he come off the Don like off turf racing?
I think he did.
Yeah,
and,
but it's Lee
Claiborne.
I'm just saying only because it's a word. It's not like some. It's just a word. Lee. Number one is the turf horse that I would expect to stay in here strongly. I'm not so sure the 2 is going to stay in. We're going to find out from the horse's mouth figuratively whether the 5 is going to stay in. The 6 would seem to be not one of the ones you would think, and the 8. So to me, I think we look at maybe a 5-horse field at best, maybe even 4, and it's 1-3-7 for me. Going 1 mile and an 1/8.
Early pick 4 in the second. We're off here, obviously, too. Now we're going to go same 5.5 here on the main track. These are 2-year-olds, special weights.
The 4 and the 11 are the MTOs. Field of 10. I guess somebody would have to come out. I don't. This is even more perplexing than the others because you're like, well, your baby. Some of you haven't started. It's 5.5 furlongs, and I think I've said this before. One of the thoughts many years ago when they started these 5.5 furlong races was that the race's field size wouldn't change dramatically with the change of surface. I guess Muni Bolt will draw significant attraction, number 4. And that's, Munnings. I've talked about him since the beginning of the meet. He's a very, very solid stallion. Spicetown, I think, has 3 sons that are solid.
Almost upset the personal ensign with Bonnie Self.
Almost. She might not have thought. She might have just been toying with him. Give him a little hope.
That's true.
So, but my picks are the 10, the first time starter for Tom Amos, and
that's where I went.
You were saying Tom's, we wish the best for him because
Yeah, I talked to Tom yesterday. He was supposed to pop over and he couldn't make it. He said, dealing with some things in New Orleans and his house had damage. So Tom and everybody, we just hope and
16
everything.
years after Katrina.
Yeah,
I can
did you
remember
see the
walking
tote
around
board at
here.
Fairgrounds?
Yeah.
Again, it's that's 90th on the list of concerns in New Orleans. But it was crazy just to see the destruction.
No, so the 4 brings into my mix. Iberville, all things considered, he would be a horse I would be interested if they choose to stay in, because you have Pioneer of the Nile and you have Smart Strake on the bottom side. Now, I think it is going to be beautiful looking at the track, but I think if you watch the horses come back, they're going to come back on their chest caked, just filthy, because underneath is going to be wet. So moisture in the racetrack. I like the Empire Maker Smart Strike angle. The 1 and the 2 inside, I was very high on the 2 if this had stayed on the turf sprint. One thing I'll say this, and I wanted to bring it up for the viewers and how important.
You keep talking. I'm going to tweet Mark Hennig to get us a track condition, Mark. What are you doing here?
Watch replays for knowledge and to make your own judgment. Now, the June 20th career debut for Slipstream was an inner turf race. The head-on isn't truly a head-on. It's a tough angle. I'm not so sure the horse brushed the gate, and if it did, it was so minor, etc. But he was in my mix, and Java Buzz didn't change lead in the career debut. Pinch steady at the start. The winner did that damage. Red Danger was the horse who pinched Java Buzz and knocked him pretty good, I thought. But I'll bring the 4 in here. I'll stay with the 10, the 1, and the 2.
All right, we'll heckle Mark.
Don't poke the bear.
He's great.
He is great, and this is one chance when I it might be one of those things where the first race is good and the rest will be fast.
I would think a fast track is firmly in play here. See what I did there? Firmly in play.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Not bad. Third here. All right, this is on the main track. Always was going to be. It's a 2L. Fillies and Mares 3 and up. 6 on the main track.
No.
What?
If I go first for the even race, if you want to give your opinion for the second,
you go ahead. I'll intro it for me. 427 here. It's closing week. It's the 35th day of the meet.
Just skips over. So I introduced the odd races. Fillies and Mares in 16. What race is that? Do you want to speak to that?
Well, those are the MTOs.
Okay, so
yeah.
So now we'll go on to the third race. Fillies and Mares Clay.
No, those are still turf picks. 10-9-2. 10-9-2.
You don't have the 4. You're not bringing the 4 in at all. Okay. Uni Bolt. All right.
Well, here's the thing with Uni Bolt, because we've got so much time here to talk about this. I don't know. The horse doesn't really do much running on debut, and now all of a sudden, he's 5-1 that day. Now all of a sudden, let's try dirt. I don't know. Maybe it's just a tightener. Steve Asmussen's in the Hall of Fame. He's great. I don't know.
All right. Third race, 3-year-olds and up, Fillies and Mares. In for 16, 2L, 6 furlongs.
I've heard that before. 4-2-7. We finally get an actual dirt race, and I muck it all up. 4-2-7 for me. Red Pepper Grill. Joe Sharp's having a great meet. We cut back here from 40 to 16. Now, that's not ideal, but he claimed this horse for 16, so that's fine. We get plenty of foundation off the turf run. What a cutback. You don't see that too much. 9-6 here at Saratoga. Luis Saez is here. They're big stats together.
Luis did win yesterday.
He didn't?
Haven't been too many of those.
Wow. I think he's awesome. I'm so happy. And I just think on the cutback in a race where there's not a whole heck of a lot in here, put that one on top. I'll let you talk about Esotica down inside, and I'll mention East Wing from the outside. Roy Lerman. Got a firster tomorrow. Roy Lerman today, though. He used to win one up here every year.
About 15 years before you got in the game.
Okay.
He would...
No, it was well after that, though. But...
No, but I'm saying when he first came up, when the world was different and stats were different and more hidden, I want to say 83 and 84, he brought up, I was in my 20s, a claimer and won. That's a 24-day meet. He didn't have too many multiple winners in those days at Saratoga. He won 2 races, like with the same horse,
With
came
the
back
same
and
horse.
put over, and trust me, they didn't pay $8.20. Royal Airman. Quick note: Bruce Levine will be a positive ROI for the meet with that
Sure
huge
will.
score yesterday.
With IRAD, by the way.
Yeah. And how about Joe Sharp's line in the paper? 24 starters, 6-0-2. Trainers' stats don't look like that very often. That's a very clean running line. Usually it's like 8, 11, 13.
Right.
But Joe is like fired with whom he knew, and had a very, I mean, how often you see a guy with 0 seconds, got 6 winners, 25 starters, only 2 third-place starters. But I like the rail horse number 2 for Mike Maker. I was thinking about going forward, Brian. I'm going to start doing something with these voided claims.
You did mention that.
I think I'm going to do it. I almost wish now they didn't put it in the form, the V, but it's probably better for $12 off track that they put the V in there. But this was a voided claim. Who first out after that won by 6+. They void the claim
That
you went by a bull bet.
database.
Yeah.
Mark is on his way back from Belmont, so we wish him
All right.
happy travels and safe travels. We'll give
He's
him.
left.
We'll give
Oh, he's
him
coming back?
Coming back.
Oh, so he
I think
left.
a lot of people are shuttling back and forth. I know
Sure, with the 2 days
Rob
off,
Atras and-
etc. So, second off of that voided claim, second start since May 30th, first time versus winners today. Mike Maker, who's had a very good meet, obviously. Chad Brown has just dominated the last 10 days, but he's had a great meet, knows where to spot the horse. You know, you're running for 25, you take 2L next. For second, right next door, Miss Alex. For Jim Ryerson, cuts back after trying, claimer 25 2L, now down to 16 2L, which probably got to be this. This is softer condition than the open 12.5s.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I mean, this is
times 100.
This is the softest condition, so Miss Alex is making
Yeah.
a precipitous drop, and then Red Pepper Grill for the aforementioned Joe Sharp, 2, 3, 4.
This is underhand softball compared to fast pitch 12-5 open. I mean, that's a big difference.
I mean, and I think some
Sizable
of our
difference.
casual fans that we didn't run restricted claimers races the first 25 years I followed NYRA. It was as simple as, the nose on your face, the dollar amount. But the restricted language, which is big at smaller tracks, is very important. And, that's a 2L. Forget the 16,000. This is about the softest field you can find in New York.
Absolutely. All right, one more here. Optional claimer in the 4th. They're all 3 and up. 7 furlongs on the dirt. It's a good race.
Who can't win of the 5? I mean,
I don't know who can't win. You're probably anybody can win, but and I certainly didn't pick him. It's really interesting to see Sonoman pop in here. Speaking of Mark Hennig, Mark's old horse, but
he's the most outsider
really weird
of them.
Yeah.
The other, I mean, not quite a Moretti in the sword dancer type of outsider, but 2, 5, 4. American Power for me, who's running the stakes race. This is a borderline stakes race, ladies and gentlemen, and scored at this level. A couple of races back, won the toboggan, a graded stakes. One of the softer graded sprint stakes in New York is run in the wintertime. It used to be a prep for the card. It used to be a big to-do, really getting the sprint season. But I thought it raced well enough in the True North, 2 back. This is a softer group for second. 3 Technique. This is Bill Parcells, Jeremiah Engelhardt. 1 off the bench in May. Since then, has run in graded stakes races, gets big class relief this afternoon, gets an outside. And for third, number 4, Aloha West, who is 9-5 here for Wayne Catalano.
He can't be favored.
He can't be?
No. Best bet of the day is American Power. I'm strictly with you. He's absolutely loose, controlling down the road in here. He's a grade 3 stakes winner.
He's supposed to be very attracted to this trip he's supposed to get here today, and there's little doubt that Jose Ortiz didn't read the racing form today and sees like, just shake him up. Just get out and be down the road.
I mean, I don't see any way Aloha West is favored in here.
Okay.
I mean, he's
Do you
all
have
out
him
to
at
beat
all?
Lester. It's just 2-4 to the hoop for me.
Okay.
I put the 3 in third. Sonoman is, in theory, supposed to pass a straggler or 2 late with all that foundation.
Okay.
But American Power is just absolutely loose. controlling speed, as my partner alluded to. He's a grade 3 stakes winner too. I mean, this is an all right spot for him. By the way, Rob Atras is, Rob Atras in the pink and yellow, Mike Dubb. That's all right. That's pretty good.
So it's just 2-4 for
Just
you,
2-4 to the hoop,
three?
and for television purposes, the
Number
3 and
three.
3rd.
All right, take a quick break. When we come back, more live from the backstretch of Saratoga.
A day at the track isn't complete without a night at the Horseshoe. Great food, hot music, and cold drinks. So why go downtown when all the action's just across from the track? The Horseshoe Inn at the corner of Nelson and Gridley.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
Where's the best place to find your favorite teams, your favorite food, daily drink specials, and wagering on live horse racing? Legends Field Sports Bar, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Get your game on day or night with 75 flat-screen TVs, tournament-style pool tables, a private banquet room, and live horse racing. So if someone asks you, where's the best sports bar in the capital region? Tell them Legends Field Sports Bar, inside the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Handicappers Report. One quick note I want to make, and it doesn't happen very often at NYRA. It does happen in California more, and that is in the middle of the week for them to change the rails settings, which is very rare in New York. You can really kind of expect on Wednesday whatever they say, but last week, I should look it up to be absolutely sure for you, they were down on the melon for the first time of the meet. But I should have. That's a bad job on my part. But I feel very confident they went from 18 feet to 25, 27 feet.
After
in
it
the
was
middle.
printed?
No.
Okay.
No, in the middle of a week, which is, trust me, folks, as a person who tries to pay attention to this, here we go. So on August 28th, Travers Day, the rail was up 9 feet, excuse me. And the next day on Sunday was 27 feet. That's very rare that they do something like that. California has done it from time to time.
All right, but when you on Saturday printed out Sunday's form, it did say 27
yes,
feet.
no,
Okay.
it was right. And then here's something that
Okay.
I don't understand, and I'll ask you. This happened the other day, and I know I harp on this often, but I can't get it. My point was they ran 2 races back to back at 8.5 furlongs, and they didn't run, I think, the stakes race or the better race on the melon where the rails were down and we could trust the time more.
Oh, right.
That's a
The
big
time.
thing to me. Oh, and another thing, look at Trackus and look at the turf ones. There's one where it's literally 2.5 seconds off the Trackus time and the time that's going to be on these videos. I
Time
apologize.
is what he's indicating here, folks.
I mean,
time for Seinfeld fans.
I don't know what that is,
I don't
but look up Trackus on the NYRA.com website. Go through. You only got to go through like 2 days. You'll see it. The disparity between the teletimer and Trackus is enormous in this day and age. 5th race, I guess that's all. Yes, it will be 7/8 now. Maiden Claimers in for 75 on the 5th.
All right, these are obviously main track picks here. 3, 5, 7 for me, and Mutada has never tried it for Todd and Shadwell, but he's certainly bred for it. By Warfront out of a Tappet mare. I would think he's staying. We get speed here. Let's put him on top. Boldish is the MTO off the claim for Linda Rice. 20%. The barn's had a little slow meet. I think the barn won a couple races in the first 2 days, too, and just really hasn't done much since. But 20% off the claim. Rosario's here. And for third, number 7, talk about a quiet meet. Jimmy Jerkins with My Boy Colton. Pioneer of the Nile out of an Affleet Alex mare. The MSW drop, I would like to think this one sticks too. 3, 5, 7 for me, MTOs.
Yeah, we have just the one MTO in here, right?
Yeah, just the one.
The 4, Linda Rice in here off the $40,000 claim for Joe Sharp. I'm guessing probably. You think the 3 is staying in?
Oh, 1,000,000%. Bet the bar tab on that.
Well, your bar tab. Jeez. Okay. And I would too. I mean, being a Warfront, I'm giving it a try.
Well, not only that, but he's in for a tag now.
So
here's you see the plan here.
Okay. You think the 1 is staying in?
No.
I don't think
absolutely
so.
not.
I don't think so. I think
I don't think either of these Klarvich horses.
They come out here. To me, it's probably the 3, the 5. I don't know. Well, the 7. I gotta take the 7.
I know. I said 3, 5, 7.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, you said you wouldn't say Jimmy Jerkins only run 2 dozen,
10
a dozen,
horses?
10 horses at this meet. So to me, I'm expecting the 1 to come out, the 1A to come out, maybe a Ruba the 8. The Kitten's Joy.
All right, we'll double back on this.
Yeah.
Race. Stay tuned for Racing Across America. We hope to have the scratches. Late pick 5 time in the 6. It's a special weight for 2-year-olds. 5.5 on the main. Always was. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. 718. Talked about Munnings as the son of Spicer. Well, Spice Town. Spicer is the other son that's had some good success as a stallion, and there's a third one. Hopefully, it'll come to mind before. Central Banker. He's got one right in here. Central Banker's been a very useful. I think Spicer is the youngest of the one.
That would make sense.
Central Banker has had more crops, and then Munnings, etc. They're the 3. It's when that's how you stick around. I mean, that's why Galileo's not going anywhere. Is because his sons have turned out to be good stallions. But I am 718 here.
Bonaventure Stable. Dan Collins will be on with me, Racing Across America at 10:50. They own the 7.
I understand, but I think I made a mistake. I'm 10-1-8 here. I don't know why I put the 7, but the 7's down the road now. I was taking the firster from Liam's Map, who, by the way, you were ahead of almost the entire curve on Liam's Map as a racehorse.
He would have beat American Pharoah.
I mean, I think you said he was going to be the Met Mile winner like 9 months before. I wish he had run, but Brad Cox's firster, he's my top pick. The 10 from the other side of the starting gate. The 11 is an AE. The Institute, offspring of Into Mischief. Barry Schwartz, Horatio de Paz, draws the rail, and then Father Walsh, who I'm guessing, because owned by Roddy and Mary Valeni, I'm pretty sure I know for whom this horse is named.
All right.
I think he shepherded the school that our son attended in his formative nursery school, pre-K through 6th grade. I think it's that Father Walsh. If I see Roddy and Mary, I'll ask him, but knowing them personally, I would say I know who this gentleman is named after.
The Institute, the IPC PCW, if you're a Seinfeld fan, which you're not.
I'm not.
2nd in a row. But I do like this one. 187 for me. This is a firster by Into Mischief out of Princess Violet, who won the Grade 1 Madison for Mike Hushin back in the day. I mean, this is a serious New York bred pedigree. DePaz having a big meet. Main guy, Jose Ortiz, is here. They already popped with a firster at 13 that I actually had on top. This one will not be 13-1. If it is, he might only have 3 legs in the paddock and run to the hills, but he will not be anywhere remotely close to that. I would think this horse gets bet hard today. Father Walsh for your guy Roddy, my guy Roddy. We love him. Best of luck. And then here's Ocean's Reserve, and I'll ask Dan Collins at 10:50 about this horse. But the Institute, the IPC PCW.
What is this?
Great Seinfeld episode, The Gum.
I saw 4 of them. None of them made me laugh
God.
ever. Can't even watch that one guy when he came on the screen. I'm like, yikes, get it off. I think it's breaking the rules, but I'm going to find it out. 7th race, 5.5 furlongs, off the turf. Optionals in for 80, non-winners are 2. Other than, this is where it becomes a problem for me.
Yeah, 5-4-3 for me on the washed off. Here's the guessing game. But if Motivated Seller is not running today, something's wrong. I mean, here's Chad. He gets all the best of it today. Seth Klarman, second off the long layoff. They tried the La Brea with this horse. Didn't work out. She comes back earlier in the meet. Solid enough third. Second off, we're going to catch predominantly a field of turf horses running on the main track. She is something to 5, and it's probably a 3 or a 4 in front of the 5. So let's put her on top. Kansas Kiss in second. Hydra in third. This, to me, is a name the score kind of time.
What? It's a what? Name the score?
Yeah. This horse jogs, doesn't she?
I hope not. Well, it's off the turf now, so.
Did you not make MTO picks?
Who's staying?
I don't know, but you did make 3 picks, I would assume.
Yes. Yes.
You can't build the suspense anymore. We got 3 minutes to go through 3 more races.
I like the 5 in here. Motivated Seller, the offspring of Into Mischief.
All
in
right.
here.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
But not to 5.
Huh?
Think it's going to be that low?
Oh, yeah. I think it should be like 2 to 5. I'm assuming a lot of horses scratch out. All right, we'll come back. 3 more left. Steve Bick and the DePaula play of the day as well. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the West. I'm Scott Varley at Saratoga's latest and greatest high-rise luxury condo. Starting in the mid-5s, every condo here has 2 bedrooms and 2 baths and upgrades just like this. Check out these oversized private balconies. We also have a gym, a private lounge, and get this, a heated parking garage. To make a reservation for your private condo at the West, call or text me. I'm Scott Varley at 518-281-6808.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops. My bad. Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Handicappers Report. Brian and Anthony, we don't know a heck of a lot today. We do know we're off the turf, though. Now, we're going to double back on racing across America. Hopefully, we're going to have some scratches for you. We'll look back on these off the turf races, try to get a little more finality.
Close on time, and I'm going to do it on Racing Across America. But it's Sunday's race 3, breaking the rules, the turf horse. You watch the video 137.33, track is 134.78.
Well,
it can't happen in 2021.
Time's not important in this game, Anthony. I mean, come on.
You're saying I pound
Ridiculous.
my shoe too
No,
often?
Listen, I'm right there with you. The 8th race, last pick
2.5 seconds.
$40,000 claimers here, 1 mile and an eighth. Fun, good race.
I'm 10-3-4. One note I want to make. I looked it up, Brian. We've had 33. This blew my mind. 33 races at 9 furlongs with a field of 11 in like the last 30 years. Just as many have won from the number 1 post as the number 11 post.
0?
5.
Really? 5 horses?
I had to look it up.
That's impossible.
I agree.
Folks,
and I'll give you a better one, because I know this is the next question for people with stats, and that's a good one. Not one of them's a favorite. That one from the number...
Yeah, because who the heck's betting the 11 hole in front of going 9 furlongs? If you want to know how good Saratoga is, they got 11 horses in this race on September 2nd. That's a testament to how good Saratoga is.
And I got to tell you, I like the 10, so very much. We're going to delve into it a little bit more coming out of a stakes race down at Pimlico. Remember, Pimlico had the long meet this year, so the race was out of July 3rd. I thought a good effort, good trip note we're going to have out of it. American Tattoo, Norm Cassie, very few runners at this speed. This horse has good speed. You're going to have to run down that horse, but I think we're going to be sitting off on the Candy Tycoon, but 10-3-4.
This is good because you've got a replay to show on
Yes.
Racing Across America, and this race is going to obviously stick together, so that's positive.
Yes.
2, 1, 7, 4, 10 for me. I have no opinion. Looks like there's plenty of speed. You want to be inside theoretically at this trip. I think both the 2, Dark Storm, and the 1, Journeyman, can settle and make a late run. Dark Storm had 0 chance when Blewett walked on the lead last time. I think he gets a better flow today. Rudy claims from George Weaver, 22% off the claim. I like the aggressive rising class. Take a shot at a price.
So you're saying I could have won a Pepsi off you if I said which had more winnings going 9.
Oh, you could have won
number 1 or number 11.
Keg of Pepsi.
From time to time, we haven't been able to run this race because we didn't have the entries till the Phillies ran against the boys. With yesterday's winner coinage, it's now 8-7 in the with anticipation. 7 maidens have won it. 8 non-maidens have now won
and Todd
it.
tried to do it yesterday with a horse too.
P.G. Johnson. This is off the turf?
Yeah, that's right. This is off the
So
turf.
it's 7/8 again. Oh,
Wow.
that-
This just kind of dawned on me.
I mean,
So,
it's just got lost there, but
Ugh.
it's usually a fun race. I think it'll be maybe less fun.
9-5-8 for me, I would think, with this perfect outside attack post by McLean's music out of a Stormcat mare. Wow. I
Not
don't
many.
see that too often. Wow. She's got.
I'll give you the
she's
answer
gotta
quickly.
stay.
Do you know who rode Stormcat like in his first 2 starts?
That's way before my time.
I know. I think John Krugay.
Really?
Up here.
Mystic Eyes from the outside of debut
Think
was
that's
really, really good on the turf. Certainly bred for the main track. Silvery Rill, the maiden for Christophe Clement by Warfront out of a City Zip mare. And then number 8, Let's Be Clear, the main track horse for Brad Cox moving forward. Beat Restricted Kind last time. Mike Callahan's best bet of the day that day.
Let's
I
be
do
clear, is
believe.
not an MTO.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm saying the dirt horse that isn't an MTO.
Right, there's
Yeah.
like 4 horses in here that I think are getting the race they wanted.
Very fair.
I think the 8 is getting the race they wanted.
Very fair. And I would be expand the map is coming out. I would think.
I would think so too. But I would say that the 8 and the 9 are not, and the 5 is not coming out. So I think this is pretty tough in here. I would take a flyer on the 8 going 7/8 in here.
Absolutely.
The 9 is probably going to be the horse to beat on the wagering, and Silvery Rill, I would think you'd stay in here. The P.G. Johnson 7/8 off the turf for the juveniles.
All right, we'll give numbers only here for the finale. We're off the turf. We'll try to get a little more clarity on Racing Across America. State bred $40,000 maiden claimers 3 and up. Now we'll go 5.5 on the main.
7-6-3 for me.
10-15-16. The old 10-15-16 to get you out in the finale.
All right, so I'm going to take a quick break here from our good friends at DePaulo.
And Steve Beck. Play of the day.
Welcome to Albany County, an incredible destination to live, work, and play, with easy connections to more than a dozen cities from our vibrant modern airport. It's a short trip downtown to a hive of culture and amusement, from world-class shows at the newly renovated Times Union Center to reliving the past at the New York State Museum. From outdoor recreation to shopping to nightlife, Albany County has something for everyone. We'll see you soon.
Birdstone is an outside front. They're coming down to the finish. Can Smarty Jones hold on? Here comes Birdstone. Birdstone surges past. Birdstone wins the Belmont Stakes. Here comes High Chaparral. High Chaparral, the defending champ, to take it to Bobo. These 2 arch rivals hang ahead with Joe Hart bearing down on them. It's going to be a 3-horse photo finish to the turn. Here's the wire. Photo finish.
The Capital Region has some of the most sophisticated horse racing fans in the country. That's why Capital OTB built the Clubhouse Racebook. Here you can wager year-round on the best horse racing from around the world. The Clubhouse also has monthly promotions including live bankrolls, handicapping contests, and so much more. Like sports? Watch your favorite teams on more than 30 screens in Legends Field Sports Grill. Food, sports, and the excitement of championship horse racing. Only at the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany.
At DePaula, we think of our customers as family, so we want your experience to be fair and easy. Family owned since 1980, DePaula means quality and convenience, along with concerned and certified technicians. So come join the family and thank DePaula for all your automotive needs. At DePaula, we think of our customers as family, so we want your experience to be fair and easy. Over $2 million in original factory parts means you receive the very best for any make or model. So come join the family and thank DePaula for all your automotive needs.
It's post time for today's DePaula Play of the Day.
And Saturday to close out strong, guaranteed of a positive ROI, but I'd love to augment it here with these last two plays. Yesterday came not close, but certainly that out-of-towner ran very well and just was left with too much to do. We're going to go to another out-of-towner today in the 8th race because the 8th, with races coming off, is really the only complete race, a big full field. And there's a lot of options in here, including some middle price types, 6-to-1s that are probably okay. Musical America and 235. But let's go outside to the 11. And here's Tyler Service, who already came to town and had a horse run well. He's got Running for Home, 15-to-1, Dylan Davis aboard, and could get an outside stalking trip. I thought that Running for Home at a price was as good as anybody in here, coming out of a Colonial allowance, dropping in for 40. So the 11, 15-to-1, Dylan Davis and Tyler Service for Cash is King and LC, your DePaula Play of the Day. Talk to you Saturday.
Over at DePaula for sponsoring this program, the Play of the Day throughout. Steve Bick got off to a white hot start, and I talk about it all the time. I mean, return on investment to me is
the only number
that matters. And we at Capital Off Track Betting, a team of what is it, 5 of us, or does somebody do double duty? You, me, the boss, Mike. Is there a 5th one, or does somebody do? Seth does 2 days. No, Seth. He's the 5th. So the 5 of us have ganged up on the 2 at the Times Union.
Jimmy and who?
Anthony.
Okay.
We're going to win, which is nice.
We have one.
We have one. Seth cinched it. But as I text Seth, about 6 o'clock, 6:30, Seth had such a great day that I believe they're missing one winner that I had that was sizable in price. Capital Off Track Betting left at the end of 7 weeks, dead even at $2 going into this week, and that is an incredible accomplishment by the team.
In and of itself, it's an incredible accomplishment. these are not updated with scratches, with course conditions, track conditions, off the turf. We don't get any off the turf. If the horse is lucky to stay in.
Right. We have to guess which one's going to stay in. Then it hurts our turf pick because that horse gets bumped out in case
we don't have MTOs in
right.
So it's a pretty big deal. Now listen, before we leave you and come right back to join you, we do know we're muddy today. Now NYRA has updated their scratch page, not with scratches, but they've gotten the ball rolling, which if you're, a long-time degenerate like myself, you know that means sooner or later the scratches are coming. Yes, they've unlocked the door in the office, so we're muddy right now. But listen, I don't get on the tractor, and I don't know anything about that stuff. We're also 3 hours and about 7 minutes from first post. I bet you a cocktail we're in a good spot by
I
first
believe
post.
that fervently.
They do a great job here, and it's sunny.
Sometimes they'll let that
bit.
early morning track condition go for the first race. I bet if it clocked it many times after the first race, there's an update. Well, that wraps up the Handicappers Report. I'd usually be saying see you at the Breeders' Cup, but I will be saying that in about 45 minutes. Stay tuned. Up next, the Gamblers edition of Racing Across America.
You've been watching the Handicappers Report. The Handicappers Report has been brought to you by Pinnell's Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922. 284 Jefferson Street, Saratoga, just minutes from the track. The new Capital OTB wagering platform. Bet any place, anytime with the new Capital OTB wagering platform. And CapitalOTBBet.com, the premier wagering site in New York State.